I don't know, man. You might be too loud.
You're going to have to turn me down in the edit then.
Yeah, we're doing it, though.
You want me to do a scream test?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Did that hurt you guys at home?
I'm told the audio guys really like it when you scream into the mic. Is that true? Like, we're not the audio guys.
No, we have a staff now.
Yeah, we've got a whole
We've gotten
crew.
so big, we got a crew now, guys.
That's right.
Thanks for all your subscriptions.
We're able
We
to.
can now afford.
Hello to all of the new listeners. We have I posted about the show on the Drew Carey Show subreddit.
Yeah.
And it kind of blew up and we got a lot of love. And some people who were not interested, and that is okay.
Yes.
You don't have
nothing
to be
against
interested.
you.
Thank you for trying. The
Thanks for
download
trying.
counts as a download. So
Yeah,
thank you for trying. No, I really do appreciate all the love. We got some new 5-star reviews from folks.
Wow. 5 stars.
You know what, TJ?
We're pretty swanky podcast.
Yeah. We got some info as well from them. I think
Well, of course, the community knows best.
the community. We should have known. We should have. First of all, there was somebody. The first comment I got was like 10 minutes after I posted it, and it was a guy who was like, "I've been waiting for you guys to post about this." And like, I probably should have. I was very scared of those people on the subreddit.
We're scared of you guys.
And it's not. You're
not against you.
You're terrifying. No, it's we. We're kind of aloof.
We're guests in the space, really.
Yeah, we're not experts.
No, we are introducing ourselves to this show and this universe,
Right?
And we're recording every second of it. That's all that's happening.
And people who get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't, you don't. Like, we're not. This isn't. I saw somebody left a comment like, I wish Kathy Kinney would do a rewatch podcast and tell us all behind the scenes, and I do too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be great. But that's not what this is.
No, and when we're done with this, once we would finish the series, I would totally listen to that podcast.
Absolutely. Or, I would also I have a world where maybe we get people on and we talk to them.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh my God,
after
if
we're
we
done
could
this,
talk to
because
people
I think
who are actually involved with the show.
Once we watch all of this, I think we will become experts in the show to an extent. Once you've watched the thing in full,
right,
you'll have a baseline of I know what I'm talking about.
I've talked about it. You've dove into it. We're also we're
10,000 hours
for It's
Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours, but with Drew Carey.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming along to the ride. I also want to say, and I did not know, purchased it as well. There was a guy in the subreddit who told us about a book Drew made, Dirty Jokes and Beer by Drew Carey, Stories of the Unrefined. And it came out the same year that this season that we are wrapping up today aired, 1997.
Season 3.
So I don't know how we're gonna do this, but I think we do want to do some level of a book club with this.
Yeah, well, we're just gonna
we do. I don't know if
that's why I bought it. I was like, oh, this is a 200-page thing for.
Yeah,
we got it for $5, $7
I'm gonna
on
be honest,
Amazon.
I haven't even looked through. I don't know if it's mostly one-liners or if it's essays. No, it looks like there's actual words.
It seems to be stories from his days, kind of getting into the space.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
yes.
I've been diving into a lot of Maron's older podcasts.
WTF
Shout out
with Marc Maron.
WTF.
Ending this fall.
Yes, the pioneer of this medium, really.
Sure, yeah.
Or at least he gets credit for it. I'm sorry if there's another guy out there that's I was 3 days before Maron.
#1. No, but he's the comedy guy.
He is
in
the
this
guy.
space.
And I've always loved this show. But I didn't. He's got so many archives, and I never went back and I never searched Drew Carey before, so I did. If you guys haven't listened to it, give that a listen, especially if you love this man or loves this show.
I haven't. Bullet points a little bit. What are the things that you took away from it that you were like, oh, holy shit?
I mean, yeah.
It came out in 2018.
It was
right?
2018, and they honestly talk about basically everything that isn't the show.
Okay.
They don't even really
that's where
bring
our niche comes in.
Yeah,
That's
they
right.
barely bring up the Drew Carey show.
Sure.
They talk about a little anecdote about I guess one season he got a haircut kind of close to shooting time, and they didn't like the way he looked, so they made him a wig with a slightly longer crew cut.
Okay.
Because
Nice.
it was just not matching. But otherwise, they don't really talk about the show. They talk about a lot about him growing up. They do talk about how he got the prices right. They kind of skip the show.
Sure. It's a lot of a background
God,
on Drew.
it's a massive background. The guy was everywhere. I mean, you want to talk about, living a poor working class family in Cleveland. His dad died when he was like 8. At one point, he went to college. He sort of flunked out. He had like suicide attempts. He talks about he traveled out to Vegas. At one point, he lived in Las Vegas for a number of years, and he talks about being like absolutely cash poor. He was broke.
Yeah.
He had nothing.
Was he like gambling a lot?
No, he wasn't even a gambler. It sounded like he just didn't.
Just no money
didn't have
in stand-up
work.
or entertainment. Yeah.
And I don't even believe he was really doing stand-up at this point. Or maybe he was, but he did start in Cleveland. He did bring up starting stand-up in Cleveland.
Sure.
And then, he was in the military, obviously, at one point. I think we talked about that. Yeah, it just, there's so much that, I don't know.
You would have never guessed.
You would have never guessed, but I guess kind of informs us. I feel like I did watch this show, though, and I assumed, this is like loosely probably how he grew up or how he lived. Not at all.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the Vegas thing, how he lived in Las Vegas.
Yeah. It is
and
funny.
He was talking about how he like lived out of a motel and was like washing his clothes in the sink.
It doesn't really change that Vegas episode because we know that was just like an ABC thing. But it is interesting then that they had a whole episode where Drew gets married out in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Outside of all of this,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
knowing that he has that as like a background. It's interesting.
So anyway, if you guys should check out, if you haven't already, I'm sure a lot of you have, the Marc Maron
WTF with Drew Carey.
WTF with Drew Carey from 2018. It's really great. He talks about The Price is Right and how obviously, and this I kind of assumed when they first called him, he was not interested. He was like, I don't want to do the old lady show.
Yeah.
And then they had, I guess he said, one meeting with them. They sat him down and it was like, yes, this is it, 100%.
I wonder.
And they didn't really even talk about what they said in that meeting.
Yeah, he was just so impressed.
He was just so impressed with the presentation. He's like, I'm in. This is it.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess, as he had already hosted. Though, I mean, this is, is Whose Line itself like a game show, really? Or is it just a vehicle for improv?
Yeah.
Like, he does other stuff. Like, I was saying, like, after this show, he does, like, the green screen show and the improvaganza stuff. Though, improvaganza might be even post Whose Line, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely.
But, like, it's, I don't know, it's interesting to me that he already had established himself as a host in a way before he became the host of The Price is Right.
Yeah, we knew. I mean, obviously, if you know even a little bit about Drew and the depressive episodes, and then obviously what happened to his wife in recent years,
or fiance.
Sorry,
and
it's just like, but to hear it's been from an early age that he had this suicide attempt in college and everything. It's really, it's heavy. It's a heavy episode, which is like always, Marc Maron's always like, he'll have those interviews and he'll be like, yeah, how about that? Mom, didn't fucking expect that.
Marc Maron's also the kind of guy, though. Yeah, he's just, when you reach a certain age, you just become Bostonite, I guess.
Yeah.
No, Marc Maron himself, also a guy who's gone through a lot of shit, continues to go through a lot of shit.
Mark's a man, though.
Yeah, he is.
He's great. His
pod.
podcast will be missed.
Yeah. One more bit of housekeeping. First of all, thank you again to everybody who's emailed and interacted. We appreciate it all. We did get an email, and I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't know. But then we watched the finale of season 3 today. And yeah, we do find out who won the contest, the What's Wrong with This Episode stuff. If only we had been patient enough to wait until we finished season 3.
Yes.
I made a whole TikTok about it that did some numbers. And I feel like a fool, but we still haven't heard from the guy.
I thought about that immediately.
Yeah, no, I was like, I got to do it. Now I'm going to have to do a rebuttal, though. I think I found the guy on LinkedIn. Nobody else harass him on LinkedIn. I'm going to reach out to him, I think. But we find out at the very end we'll get to it, but at the very end of season 3, Dan Dobner from Seville, Ohio.
He was second place.
No,
right?
he was first place.
He was first.
He won the Hollywood trip, and eventually, I guess he was a cameo on on the show, but I don't know where or in what capacity. And then Mary Teresa Herron won an all expenses paid trip to Cleveland. Oh boy. And then they also noted there were 400 other special prize winners. Because as I said it in that TikTok, they had like thousands of submissions. It's a crazy amount of people that were interested and submitted in like a week or something.
Yeah.
So, it's impressive. But yeah, Dan Dobner, I'm gonna find out what the deal was with that. I'm not done with this. I'm gonna dig in the rabbit hole further and further.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you saw that and you were like, oh, just I will own it. I was impatient, and I'm also a bit of a dumbass.
Well, this is the beauty of us watching 2
in real
episodes at a time.
Yeah.
And then talking to you guys and then taking 2 weeks off.
Yep. And then we clock out, and then I clock out from the Drew Carey Content Factory, and then I clock back in. I go, oh shit, wait, that thing I did though. Whatever. You know what? 2,000 people watched that on TikTok, and they had no idea either. So
no,
I'm here breaking the news.
So many of those people people don't even know who Drew Carey is.
No,
these days. Like the old guy from The Price is Right. They're like, no, you don't get it. You had a TV show.
Wait. Is that a young Six Flags guy? Does he do the dance? Do the dance.
Oh, man.
Beautiful. No, but it's we are here. I've been saying it every episode. We are at long last at the end of season 3 of the Drew Carey Show. We did it. Season 3, episodes 27 and 28. The time is changing. We it's September.
Yep.
It's a new. We're gonna out with the old and with the new.
You don't mean in the show, right?
No, I mean this is coming out on September 1st.
Okay, I was.
No, they are like it's fully spring. I think.
I was gonna say I think. I mean, I'm like, what did they pepper in there that made you think it was September?
No, that's the magic. I mean, May is the month for weddings.
Oh yeah.
So I think it is like May, June.
It's rejuvenation.
Like
it's rebirth.
But I also mean literally like, we are going through, it's almost fall. Summer's almost over. I'm kind of bummed about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, neither here nor there. We're ending season 3. We started it back in January. And we are finally here. It was a long season.
That way.
It was a long season, but it was worth it.
We did do several single eps.
Yeah.
We did we took a little break too.
We took a month break.
We had
for some health reasons. But also think about everything. Steve Buscemi made a cameo. Mimi and Mr. Wick were in a sexual harassment lawsuit.
Yeah. We had the
Batmobile. So much shit was going on in this season. It was crazy.
And then we end up with Daffy Duck.
Yeah. Well, we're jumping the gun there. But we end with Daffy Duck. Another little
season had it all.
It really had everything. But we start with season 3, episode 27, The Wedding Dress.
Yes.
We're finally back on track.
Finally, somebody's going to get fucking married here.
Well, we start with the boys playing pool in the backyard. I didn't understand fully what was going on here. I guess they had been drinking.
Yeah, I think they were just,
chilling.
Hijinks, what you do with your boys. When you have a few beers, you start playing pool. But
they weren't just playing pool. They were spinning each other around like 3 times before they were allowed to shoot. Yeah. And Drew sucked at it.
Yeah, the only funny gag out of this bit is that Lewis makes like 2 balls in one shot. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm glad I was drinking.
Yeah, because I guess it evened out. The spinning versus his drunk spinning.
Yeah.
It's good. And then we get a horse.
Yes.
The Clemens walk by Drew's neighbors with a full-ass horse.
Yes.
Greg, the husband. I do not have the wife's name on hand. And you know what?
I keep forgetting
That's
her name.
On me. But Greg and his wife walk in. She is riding the horse. And they're walking by. Charlie is the horse's name. We learn. They're like confused.
Damn, we got the
horse's name, but we didn't get the wife's name. You know what?
Name.
You know what? But we find out basically they're just keeping this horse on their property.
Yeah, well,
its stablemate had died.
Yeah, its stablemate died and it got depressed.
Yeah.
It was sad, so they decided to bring it home.
Right.
And now they're looking at maybe expanding their property. They were looking at buying Drew's house and turning it into a barn.
Which, like, here we go again, dude. Didn't they? There was a whole episode
that was
season.
Our introduction to them.
They
was
wanted to buy
your
Drew's house. Yeah. Drew tells them his house isn't a barn. And then Greg goes, well, it could be if we cleaned it up a bit. I do also like there's this little back and forth where they're like, this isn't a place for an animal like that. Drew does a bit who walks on all fours and, eats like a slob. And he goes, Lewis and Oswald.
Yes, that is them.
Yeah. Yeah, they are basically
the brain
animals.
The size of a...
Oh, wait, no. Who smells like... Oh, wait, no. Yeah. No, it was a good bit about those two buffoons.
Yeah, that need to hang out in the backyard and be fed in a pen.
It is their space.
It is.
Yeah. So the idea that they would invite a strange animal into it. Also, I think we learned throughout this episode, Lewis isn't keen on horses. Which is very funny to me because...
He does have a horse look.
Well... That's not where I was
Brian
going
Stiles
looks like a horse.
Kind of looks like a horse.
Why the long face, Brian?
Big time. Yes. That's where that came from.
Yeah, no. They looked at Ryan Stiles. No, I was gonna say just because canonically his character is surrounded by test animals, right?
Oh yeah. Wait.
So the idea, I guess those are small animals though. Like it's usually like rats and rabbits and cats and shit. Like the idea that then.
Although one time it was wasn't it a giant ant or a giant bug?
Yeah, no, there's a giant bug in one of them. Yeah. So. I don't know. Anyway, I really did enjoy he's freaked out by the horse the whole time.
Well, I hope they don't test Pinky on any horse drugs. Pinky.
I don't
Pinky's on horse tranquilizer.
Pinky was the first one to do ketamine. And that's ABC didn't want you to see it. So you got to watch the DVD cut. Then we go to the credits. We come back. I like this next scene, this introduction scene. So we're fully in wedding planning mode.
Yeah.
And instead of just like some sort of back and forth at a kitchen table.
Oh, this is great.
We see everybody on like the weddings, the dais, if you will, the stage for the wedding.
Big picturesque wedding. It's in front of a, they're like columns and curtains and they have like a string quartet.
It's beautiful. They've got
all their family and friends.
Yeah, family, friends, bridesmaids, groomsmen, everything.
Yeah.
And they're going through. We hear Kate, Drew, and Oswald basically speaking over this image, and they're trying to figure out price-wise what everything's going to cost. We see this big, beautiful string band, all of this stuff, and like as they're talking with this unnamed wedding planner,
right,
who's also we hear her, things start to change visually.
Yeah.
So like oh well, that tux will cost you $350 to rent, and then it just changes to like they're wearing like shittier suits or they're wearing underwear. Like the string band goes away and they turn into like a sad Asian man with a piano. Like things like that.
They cut down the party size. And now the only thing that seems non-negotiable is Kate wants the nice dress.
She really wants this like $2,000 wedding dress that they have in the, we find out it's Winfred Lauder, I guess, wedding planning. And they have it in this booklet that she's looking at.
Right.
That won't change. And Oswald's really pushing her to like, Katie Bear, we gotta,
you're gonna wear it once.
Yeah. But it won't change. She's like, well, maybe we just don't have beer. And then everybody's gone except Kate in the dress.
Right. Yeah.
It's she really wants this one specific dress that like she has from like childhood, it seems.
Yeah.
Visually in her mind.
I think it's a different dress than the dress we inevitably end up talking about.
Oh, yes, that's true. This one is just the Winfred Lauder.
The one we inevitably end up talking about from Eileen's, I think the wedding boutique they're talking about is like $5,000.
Yeah.
So anyway,
after this all ends, we're in the kitchen. The wedding planner has had enough with them. She says to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, whenever they ask if there's anything that they can actually afford. And then they start coming up with other options. I think Lewis suggests, why don't you just have one of those weddings where, everything's sponsored and they were like, look at this gorilla from the Cleveland Zoo. It's ordained.
I wonder
which is how Shane keeps getting all these.
Yeah, that's how
weddings.
I keep getting to officiate weddings. I'm just the gorilla from the Cleveland Zoo. It's true.
Like,
I think I've talked
Shane's
about
an expert in
I've
this.
done
Sorry.
I've done 2 now, which is 2 more than I think a lot of people have ever done in their life.
That's more than I'll ever do. That's more than most people will.
You could do it right now. You could sign up with the Universal Life Church, a real church.
It's really one of the best things you ever did. Think of the special moments you've now had. With
It's truly the lives that I am able to touch. I just did my brother's wedding like 3 weeks ago. It was lovely. Awesome. It was great. He also had the best weather, and I think that is so crucial. Because the other wedding I did was our buddy Ben. Shout out Ben, he's great. They had it inside, but it was raining, so like it ruined kind of like a whole beautiful weather, man.
Yeah,
it's all about it. It's why people choose fucking August and June, and that's why you get married in the summer, Kate. That's why you're doing it.
Yeah, or whatever time. May. I thought we decided June. It's May.
I don't know.
May's spring, right? When's the first day of summer?
June 21st, I believe.
Oh, geez, it's later than
and then
I
it
thought.
ends September 21st is the first day of fall. So technically,
that's too late.
Even though today's Labor Day, technically it's still summer.
It's the unofficial end.
I think it is. You can't wear white.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't have a lot of white.
It's white, the defining quality.
White is the
summer.
defining quality of the end of summer. If I can't wear white linen, just me walking around looking like a missionary. Anyway, the Winfred Louder wedding planner leaves.
Yeah.
And we start, thinking of other ideas. Like you had said, Lewis talks about sponsorships. We go through a newspaper, kind of like looking for things. And Kate finds Eileen's Blowout Bridal Boutique. They're having a blowout sale.
Yes.
And it's the next day. And she sees the dress that they're advertising in the newspaper is the exact one she wanted from childhood.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess we find out she had this doll that had the wedding dress. So she's basing it off of what this doll had.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're like, yeah, we're gonna go first thing in the morning.
That's great subliminal marketing.
Yeah, to give
you think they're
young girls
you think
dolls.
They're really selling, these wedding dress shops. They should make little doll versions and sell them for like Barbie dolls or whatever, so that one day these girls, once they're another 20 years down the road, are going to be like, I need this dress, this specific dress.
Do you think, though, would you worry that it would fall out of style? Like,
well, you just got to be timeless. Right?
I mean, a lot of wedding dresses, I guess, are.
Yeah, they're all like white.
Simple chic, white. But I don't know. Like, I mean, it's kind of ingenious. If Mattel was in the wedding or the bridal business,
I guess.
I don't know, So anyway, they decide they're going to go the next day.
Yes.
And they think, we'll go early. We'll beat the rush. We'll get the dress you want.
Eileen's blowout sale.
Smash cut to the next day at the boutique and
just mobbed.
Chaos. Women fighting each other.
Yeah. And the gang's all separated. Oswald's trying to say, oh, I think it's over there. He's like jumping through the crowd. And
we find Mimi there.
Mimi's there. Mimi punches some woman in the kidneys that's fighting with Kate.
She's coaching Kate on how to do it. She's like, oh, Brian, you got to put your back into it. These women are monsters. Like all this shit. It's very good.
And we find out that Mimi's there, dress, why Mimi's there. And Mimi's like, I'm looking for a dress for my music video.
Yeah.
And
she's going to be in a rock and roll music video.
And Drew's like, for what? Insane Clown Posse?
And she goes, yeah.
And that's it.
Shout out. She knows what's up. She knows about that juggalo lifestyle. Mimi. Are you kidding me? I see that face paint.
So anyway, Kate brings up the specific wedding dress she's looking for. She actually has the doll with her.
In her purse.
And Mimi's like, oh, that's over here in like the glass case. It's a designer dress. They're not going to have that on sale.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the price tag is $5,000.
Which
is that's not even that much these days, right?
I don't know. I
is that a lot?
I think that's to me that is a lot of money.
To me, that's a lot of money, but I don't
know what the going rate for a wedding dress is.
Yeah, I don't know what a wedding dress costs.
Yeah, I think like that seems like a lot for a dress.
Sure.
Yeah.
People pay crazy amounts of money for just like prom dresses.
Right. But $5,000 for a prom dress?
Well, no. But what I'm saying is your wedding's a hell of a lot more
it's significant like mega prom. Your wedding is mega prom. You got to go big or go home.
Exactly.
It's like a prom that's all about you.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that's a crazy amount. And so does Oswald. And I guess ultimately so does Kate.
Yes.
Because they all decide. Yeah, they all decide we can't do this.
Yeah.
Drew tries to kind of encourage everybody. He's like, well, maybe if we save up some money. And
Yeah.
Drew's coming in total like cuck, kind of like just
big cuck energy.
big cuck energy from Drew Carey here.
Although, to be fair, his first comment is, well, if we pull all our money together and buy a gun and then we
To rob
to get some money.
Yeah, no, but it's just, and we will see this trend continue in this episode and also in the next episode a bit. But
Yeah.
he really wants Kate to have, Kate deserves everything. And he's
This is my Katie Bear's special day.
he's being a
with
good friend to
Oswald.
Kate. He's being less of a good friend to his other friends involved in this wedding.
Yeah.
Kate gives a very sad bye-bye dress, which just like a weird emotional moment. But so then we bid farewell to Eileen's. And then the next day we go to Drew's house.
Yes.
And Lewis enters. And Drew's lounging on his pool table in the living room.
It was this moment's great because Lewis is just like, what? A pool table in the house?
Come look at this. What is this? So we see Drew in the pool table in the living room. Lewis comes in, and we come to find out he had to move the pool table because he has been leasing out his backyard.
Yes.
So he could buy Kate's dream wedding dress.
Yes.
He went back and he paid the $5,000 to get this designer dress.
Yeah, and he's leasing the backyard to the Clemens, who wanted a place for their depressed horse. Yeah.
Lewis finds out that he bought the dress and he goes, horse's ass at Drew. And then we get a shot of Drew, and in the back window we see the horse's ass.
Yeah.
But then there's
which is a reveal.
Yeah, but then he goes, oh no, I was talking about you though.
Yeah.
He's immediately like, this is a bad idea. Why did you insert yourself into their wedding?
Yeah.
I agree with Lewis.
Of course. This is big time overreach. This is something you run by Oswald first.
At least. If it's your buddy and it's his wife. Also, what's he gonna do?
100%. I mean, Oswald would have, if you would have said it, Oswald probably would have been game. It wouldn't have been a fight.
He would have split it with you, maybe. You wouldn't have had to spend
or given you
$5,000
or whatever the hell he paid for his dress.
$4,990.
Yeah,
and then Oswald pays $100.
I do want to shout out too the shirt Drew is wearing.
Oh, I didn't notice this
in this, and I don't know if you would have noticed it, if only because. Again, this Maron interview with Drew Carey talks a lot about Cleveland growing up. And like Drew wasn't really into comedy so much as a kid, but there was one shock jock from Cleveland, Ghoulardi. He was wearing a Ghoulardi t-shirt. But it was a disc jockey, hosted a show on WJW-TV. It's a CBS affiliated station in Cleveland.
We have, I think, talked about this guy. He was Ernie Anderson, right? That was his real name, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember, they dedicated an episode to him, and then we dedicated a podcast episode to him.
And we didn't really, we explain?
We did not go into it at all, no.
Holy shit.
We didn't know what it was. Yeah.
Hey, back to what we were saying at the beginning, how you guys are along for the ride as we learn about this.
The ignorance is part of the charm of this podcast.
And we're learning.
Yeah.
And now you can be like, oh my God, they're growing so much.
It all comes together. So he's wearing a Ghoulardi t-shirt?
Yeah. And I guess Ghoulardi was this shock jock that was like a really important figure to him and a lot of people who, grew up in Cleveland in that particular era.
Nice.
So just like a comic figure or an entertainment figure.
That rules.
So anyway, shout out to
Ernie Anderson.
To that niche Cleveland reference in this show that I now only understand from that Marc Maron episode.
They're chock full of them. That's what this is all about, man.
Yeah.
So it seems bad that Drew has done this, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What are you gonna do? We need to move. We need something to drive the plot.
Did you get the next scene where we're at Winford Louder and Mimi starts singing?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Was this just like a one-off or what?
I don't know. I don't understand what it's about or what the reference here would be. I mean, maybe is it some sort of...
They didn't talk about this on What the Fuck podcast.
Marc Maron did not get it. I'm surprised. Did they talk about music at all? Because it seems like music is such a big part of Drew's life.
They didn't really know.
Okay.
They did talk about Drew learning music growing up.
Sure.
You know, they didn't talk about what's your favorite band, this and that, but they were like, oh, you know, he was like, I knew I played the trumpet, I played the accordion, that kind of stuff.
The polka basics.
Yeah.
But anyway, we get Mimi singing, and then Wick comes out and he starts joining in, and then the whole staff, it seems for a moment, everybody's like kind of in a dance number.
Yeah.
For a very brief second, and then he asks Mimi to file some paperwork, and everybody stops abruptly. Again, this is maybe where it would have been nice to know what the song even they're singing is, but
Yeah.
it feels like it's some sort of like lovely show tune.
I can't even remember what it is, but all I know is the final moment is Drew walking in. Drew enters belting the final notes into a footlong hoagie.
Yeah, he's got a sub sandwich in his hands and he's just singing it like it's a microphone. And then he goes to Mimi and, you know, talks about how he just got this dress for Kate because she was there. She knows what it was all about. And he's basically like, you know, you bought a dress for a woman that won't love you the same way. She calls him the hunch front of Notre Dame.
yeah.
It's at this point, too, that Wick comes out again and tells Mimi to hold his calls. He's got to go get a sandwich.
And then he comes out and he nabs Drew's
Drew's
hoagie,
sandwich.
Which that's bullshit. That looked like a good sandwich. My favorite food is sandwich.
Oh, I know.
I
Yeah.
love a sandwich.
I know that.
I just want a Scooby-Doo size
I was
sandwich.
walking over here. I got dinner before I came over on the west side, and I walked past the Subway, and I'm like, man, you're a fiend for a tuna sandwich.
I love a sandwich. And anyway, you take my footlong sandwich. You can take anything you else from me. Take my heart. Take my dignity.
Yeah. Take my freedom. Don't take my foot
freedom.
long.
Yes.
God damn it. But anyway, Drew's kind of pissed, so he goes to leave to get a new sandwich. And as Drew leaves, Oswald enters with a nice but admittedly cheaper wedding dress for Kate.
Yeah, $140.
Yeah, that's what we find out. Compared to $5,000, pretty skimpy.
$140, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think
unless you're buying that off of like Facebook Marketplace and it has like a stain in the back and that's why.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bad price. If
Right.
you're buying that new.
Yeah, pretty bad. I think the ideal price for a wedding dress
Yeah.
is
Drum
somewhere
roll.
between $5,000 and $140. I'm gonna play Price is Right rules, Drew. I'm gonna say 141.
Yeah.
But so he comes by and he wants to show Drew this dress that he got, and Mimi's like, "Oh, you got a dress?" Like, and she realizes he doesn't know.
Yeah.
So she's gonna do the right thing in a moment and tell him.
Yeah.
About
Hey,
this.
you know, Drew
Yeah.
also got.
She starts
a
to
dress.
do this, and then Oswald basically just insults her taste.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, no, I know you probably don't like it because it doesn't have all the bells and whistles and cowbells and sparkles and, you know, basically just shitting on her taste.
Yes.
Like, but it's okay. She doesn't need all the attention that you
she
get.
doesn't need all the attention.
So Mimi then takes the knife and is basically like, no, I don't think you should show Drew the dress. You'd one less ooh and ah at the wedding. He's going to show it to her at the bridal shower.
Exactly. She was like, why don't you wait until the bridal shower?
Yeah.
And
Show Drew there.
can I get invited to the bridal shower?
Yes. She wants an invite, and we find out that Kate has specifically said to not invite Mimi because she scares her.
Yeah, it makes her nervous. And then Mimi's
Offers a
like,
ham.
I'll bring a ham.
Ham at a shower, dude, goes hard.
I love a ham.
Yeah.
Actually, I think ham gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
People are like,
Is it
granted,
like-
so does like turkey. I feel like the only thing
I
that
love
like
turkey.
people, when they talk about like Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, or Christmas, everyone's always, the new obsession is anything beef. Everyone's like, oh, how about we're doing steaks or something. Now,
The Italians have been on it with the 7 fishes for Christmas.
horrible.
I agree. It's a bad take.
But
I mean, culturally fine. It's not my business.
and I love a turkey, and now people
Love
are
a
also
turkey.
people are also into like doing up the turkeys now. They're deep frying them or
Turducken.
They're stuffing them with a lamb, and they're making them fuck a chicken or a duck or whatever the hell.
Turducken. They put it's 3 layers. Bird, bird, bird.
Yeah,
It's ungodly.
but it's home. No, but ham. Ham is, I feel like, the low man on the totem pole.
Yeah.
But when you like do a nice little honey glaze on a spiral cut ham, We did that one year.
Yeah, we did for Easter.
Yeah, for Easter we made a little
Our
ham
first
here.
Easter in this very apartment, I believe.
we
got a ham.
We glazed a little ham.
And was
nice.
that with the old? We had an old oven. I'm looking at the new oven now, and it wouldn't fit, so you had to bungee cord the door. So it would
Still
close.
works.
Still works. It was fantastic. No, man, I agree. I used to really be on ham. I'm less so now. I think the sodium's probably too much for me. But
Yeah.
it's an underrated meat.
Damn, we're that old now. We're worried about sodium.
I gotta worry about my A1C. Yeah. So we also get one moment where Mimi prays to God in here. Speaking of ungodly, she goes, "Dear Lord, I know this is uncharacteristic of me. I need you to keep Drew Carey alive for one more week for what should be one hell of a shower."
Yeah.
Also, as always, thank you for the color peacock blue. Is that what her eyeshadow is?
It had to be. Because they look like peacock feathers.
It's true.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't connect that until right now. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Right.
I was
well,
like,
then it looks like a peacock feather. I didn't think about that.
The way she like had it up.
Yeah.
So the next scene, we're at the shower.
Yes.
And
it's at Drew's house.
Yeah.
Why is everything at Drew's house?
They only have so many sets,
man.
Well,
they also, I don't think they have an apartment, right? Kate and Oswald?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it's not jumping ahead of some of you have seen the fucking, but like the weddings at fucking Drew's.
Everything's at Drew's house.
Yeah.
When Kate and Drew did their fake wedding at the very beginning of the show, it was at the fucking Warsaw, at least.
Yeah.
We had the decency to take them to a bar. God damn, everything's at Drew's house.
But anyway, they're having the shower in Drew's living room.
Yeah.
It opens with Kate holding up a bra with cowbells on the nipples.
A gift from Mimi.
Yes.
Yeah. She doesn't understand it, but she's thankful. And yeah, it's just kind of them opening gifts for the start of it. It's pretty fun. The neighbors get Oswald a gift because Oswald makes a point to make sure everybody knows it's also his day.
Yes.
So they give him a red ball that he just bounces over and over.
Right, but they only gave him the ball because at first they got a gift certificate to a bookstore. And Oswald was like, yeah, we'll definitely use it. And they were like, no, that's for Kate. Yours is in the box.
Yeah.
The red ball.
Lewis gave them a gift. They didn't know it was from Lewis. It wasn't a card, but they, thought whoever, they open it and it's a framed photo of Lewis. Like it has to be at least 2 feet tall.
Oh, it's more than I feel like it's like probably a 3.5, 4 foot tall.
Yeah,
it's like a full size poster.
It's him posing with his arms crossed.
Yeah,
and then they go, oh well, don't worry. When he's not here, and then they flip it. And it's the backside of him doing like a very similar pose,
but like his head turned around. Yeah.
So you cannot escape Lewis.
It was really funny.
It was a good
good visual gag.
We're about to get to the moment of the reveal, but before we do that,
Drew comes in.
Yes.
And he's offering little pizzas.
Yeah.
And then I put just the one line. Mimi's like, "Hey, Carey, how come you're not pushing my ham?"
And he's like, "I'll do it, but you can never say that phrase to me again." Push my ham.
Yes.
Wick bursts in. He's drunk. I like that we've gotten drunk Wick as this season has gone on. I don't think we've really seen that before.
Yeah, I like that Mr. Wick has developed a problem.
Yeah. I'm
season 3.
Glad to see that we really have an Englishman earning his stripes.
Yes.
He comes in drunk and he's like, I don't want to make a scene. And then he immediately pops his shirt open and we see I love you, Kate, written on his chest.
Yeah.
He's still not over it. It's amazing.
Nope. Not over it. Everyone takes it in stride too. Oswald laughs at him. Oh, he's so drunk he won't remember this in the morning.
Yeah. And then Mimi tries to also take advantage of the situation. She's like, "Oh, I'll take him upstairs and rest him." And Drew's like, "No, you're not going upstairs."
So Drew takes him upstairs.
Yes.
Now Drew has exited the room. Oswald presents his gift.
Yes, he's got his Katie Bear, her dress, and she opens it and she's like, "Oh, this is so nice. This is the most beautiful thing I could have ever asked for."
Yeah, the cheap dress.
The $140 dress.
She finds the right words to say.
Yes, and Mimi's there with camera waiting as Drew comes down with his bigger, box. It's gold, I noted, versus Oswald's white.
Yeah.
Always has to showboat. And he's like, I just got something for my best friend. You know, she deserves the best or whatever. And she opens it, and it's the $5,000 dress of her dreams.
Yes.
You know, Mimi snapping photos of them. Oswald's flabbergasted, and Kate thinks that they were, you know, working with each other in tandem.
Kate's like, oh, you gave me the shitty dress.
Yeah, you gave me the crappy dress so that I could then be surprised by the really nice dress. I love you guys. You're great.
Yeah. And then Oswald is like, you're trying to make me look like a fool, and really
pissed.
Gets physical, pushes Drew out of the room and into the backyard, into the horse's pen.
Yeah, they break down the fence and they're in the horse's backyard. They're everybody's coming out to look. Kate's begging them to not get into a fight.
Oswald just beating the shit out of him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's annoyed at this point. I think Drew overstepped big time here.
Big time.
Yeah. And like you can tell clearly there is a motive.
Yeah.
That is not necessarily just, you know, I'm looking out for my friend here.
Yeah.
We've established he still has feelings.
Well, then even as they're fighting and Kate's like, oh, stop it. You know, Oswald does reveal that Drew had said they're not right for each other early on. I mean, this was a while ago.
Was that the vacation episode?
Yeah, maybe. I think so. I don't remember.
It was very early on. Like, I want to say like we were like in the early 10s of the season. And and then Kate doesn't know this though, so she runs away, and Drew follows her, and we get Oswald almost follows them, but then Lewis pushes him back, and he's like, no, let Kate work on the heavyweights first.
Yeah, let her work the heavy bags.
Yeah, then you'll
get
come
her
in
arms
after.
tired.
Get her arms tired. And this is where we find out as well that Lewis didn't stop them from fighting because he's scared of the horse.
Yeah,
he goes, they got big teeth and metal feet. It doesn't make sense.
What's the metal? Oh, yeah, the hoofs.
The hoofs. Yeah. Well, they don't. I mean, you can take those off, but yeah, you put them on. You know. So that they can walk easier.
You ever watch them? Sometimes I'll just watch reels of them cutting horse nails.
Yes, I've seen these. Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
because they'll keep carving away, and you're like, how long is this fucking nail?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, and how do they walk on it for that long?
Yeah. Horses are weird. I will say I'm not scared of them, but I agree with Lewis that
I'm a little scared of them.
Yeah. Do you think
I feel like
are you
just
worried about getting trampled?
Well, not even I'm just worried about like standing behind a horse, right? Because that's whenever the horse will they can just one kick, one swift kick, and
now you need to go KO.
Now you need like a metal plate in your head.
Oh God,
you know, I don't need that.
Yeah, no, that's right. Fuck horses. I'll say it. We're an anti-horse podcast.
Now you can't. Now you got to present a card to go through TSA because you got kicked in the head by a fucking horse.
I can't put this in the bin.
Yeah, I can't walk through the metal detector, man. I'll piss my pants. Like it's just I can't do it.
Oh Jesus. The Drew and Kate are inside kind of arguing it out alone in Drew's living room. Everybody else stayed outside.
Yeah.
Because that's where the action is now. But anyway, they're arguing back and forth. And basically Kate realizes that she's mad, not even at Drew or at Oswald, but at herself. Yeah. Because deep down, we get this big reveal. She doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to get married to Oswald.
Yeah, that was a bomb drop.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I felt like maybe she was a little hesitant, but like at least for the last
him at a point.
For the last couple episodes, she's been on board.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I think especially when you look at throughout this season, the Drew Nikki dynamic
and how that fell apart.
That Oswald Kate just looks like roses by comparison.
But I don't know. For weeks now, I guess even on this podcast, I've been like, so how's it going to fall apart?
Yeah, no.
What's going to happen?
I think the problem is everything has to go back to a sense of stasis, right?
Yeah.
Like it's generally like nothing big can happen. We can't have
you can't have
two of the
two
four
people
married.
joined
yeah.
in love and marriage.
When
forever.
they did it in Friends, okay, well there was 6 more of them. You know, we have 2 core of a group here.
And they took forever to do that.
Yeah.
From my understanding. I haven't
3.
watched it. Is it season 3?
No, I'm saying this is season 3. Can't do it in season. No, you were right. They did it in like season 6 or some shit.
I don't know shit about Friends.
Wick comes down and thanks Kate for giving him a thrilling 5 minutes, the most thrilling 5 minutes of his life, he says.
Blindfolded.
And they're like, what the hell is he talking about? And then Mimi comes down, very satisfied with herself from the bedroom and goes, well, good night. Dirty dog.
Oh, Mimi.
The end scene I like this a lot. It's Lewis and Greg, the neighbor.
Oh, this is great.
And they've got the horse at Drew's desk.
Yeah.
And Gary and Greg is like, man, there's no way that they won't recognize that that's not Drew. He's like, I'll bet $100 on it.
Yeah.
So Mimi comes in and is just making fun of the horse as if it's Drew.
Yeah.
She's actually talking about you smell better. Like,
yeah.
And Greg can't believe it. So then Lewis doubles down. He goes, double or nothing. Let's try a giant rock. So they put a giant rock in the chair, and they're all around like as if it's his birthday, saying,
like,
for he's a jolly good fellow.
And Greg's just paying up.
Just such a dumb little non sequitur of a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Then, that's the end of the penultimate episode.
Yes.
And then the finale episode, My Best Friend's Wedding. Speaking of non sequiturs.
Episode 28.
Episode 28. We begin with Daffy Duck.
I was waiting for this because I knew this. I've seen this clip before.
Well, this was kind of, if I remember, me and you and our friend Ross Wiseman did sketch comedy together very briefly after we graduated college.
Yes.
We did one real sketch. And while you were prepping with him, you stayed the night at his place. And I believe the impetus of us talking about the Drew Carey show came from you watched an episode at his house.
Yes.
And it was this Daffy Duck episode.
The Daffy Duck. Now, I don't remember any of the... It's funny how much I don't remember now because, like, now I feel like I know all the characters. I know their lives, their stories. I know everything intimately about the show.
But now...
To this point.
But at that time, you were just like, oh, look, it's a cartoon. Like, it's just...
I was like, oh, what is this show?
Yeah.
What is this Daffy Duck?
Well, and it turns out if you watched just that, which you might have, it had nothing to do with the entire rest of the episode. But lest we forget, we are one big Warner Brothers family here.
Yeah.
So I guess they got the Looney Tunes guys to do a cold open at Winfred Louder.
Think they were promoting a movie? Is there a movie coming out in 97? When did Space Jam come out?
It could have been around then. I thought Space Jam was earlier.
Might have. I mean, look.
When did Michael leave, right? Because when MJ did baseball, that's when they did Space Jam. I'm trying to remember from the last
Dance. This was when Space Jam came. I mean, Michael came back in 97, I think, right?
So this could have been when the movie was coming out.
96. No, Space Jam was 96.
Okay. Well, maybe they just had some leftover animatics. I don't know. But regardless, it's very fun. We get Daffy Duck walking in. He's wearing a disguise. He's got a mustache and a coat, like a big raincoat. And he's asking Drew for a job interview. And Drew's like, I don't have a job interview lined up. And then he leaves. And we get a phone call. And it's clearly Daffy Duck on the phone. And he's like, Mr. Carey. I can't do the accent, so I'm not even going to bother. I tried for a second. And I was like, I fucking can't do it. I've never noped that hard on doing something. But I can't do it.
Look, if you're going to try a Daffy Duck, you gotta know you can do it.
Yeah. No, because I started doing it and I was like, oh, it's just Sylvester. Like, but I guess they are just lisps.
Yeah.
Sylvester the cat, Like, anyway. So he's like, Mr. Carey, I have a great guy for you to interview. It's going to be fantastic. So then Daffy comes back in and Drew sees right away that he's a fucking duck because, of course, he's got a goddamn beak and feathers.
Drew's like, I can't hire you. You're a fucking duck.
Yeah. And then... You're a fucking duck.
What am I supposed to hire a fucking duck?
Daffy actually launches into a whole, what happened to my affirmative action? Like he really leans into the whole discrimination
this
thing.
This really rings true to today. Huh?
Yeah, Daffy Duck.
Donald Trump was like, why did we hire all these fucking ducks?
But Daffy then, so it gets real zany. Almost immediately, we get into the Looney Tunes of it all. Yeah. Daffy digs through like this bag of tricks. He's like, I got skills out the wazoo. And then he pulls out a bag labeled wazoo. And he's like, I got BLT, TNT, all of this stuff, like, with different acronyms and shit that he's got. Ending with TLC, and he kisses the camera.
Yeah.
He hops onto Mimi's desk, and him and Mimi have a very sensual moment.
Yeah, well, his heart like beats out of his chest, and then he kisses Mimi. He falls in love with her immediately. He loves all her colors.
Yes. Yeah. She's Technicolor in the same way all of the cartoons are. He kisses her, and she slaps him so hard that his beak goes around his head, like the whole thing is so cartoony. It's good. Drew and him end up doing a dance routine. They do rabbit season, duck season, which like so classic to do.
They hit all the greatest hits.
Yeah, they get it down to like a 3-minute act real quick.
And then it ends with Daffy being like, "Oh, by the way, Mr. Wick wanted to see you."
Yeah.
And Drew walks into the office. Daffy Duck holds up a sign. Stupid, ain't he?
And then there's the TNT
explodes.
from earlier is in the office. He walks out and he's, they have cartoon glass fall from his frames.
Yeah.
He goes, and that's why we don't hire ducks. Fun, completely unrelated. So, clearly, this was just somebody's like little dream project that they wanted, and they got it in under the wire. They were like, right at the end of season 3, we're going to do it.
Right.
It's great though, and I'm sure they got a fun little promotional thing out of it.
Yeah, and then they skipped the title sequence because that took so long, probably. And then they go right into we're at the bar.
We're at the Warsaw.
The Warsaw. Lewis walks in with Drew.
Yeah,
with Oswald. They didn't know each other would
two
be
of them,
there.
Yeah, they were unaware, and Lewis is basically like, "Listen, you guys need to make up. I'm not going to have my friends be mad at each other anymore." He kind of like makes both of their scenarios sound like the worst possible versions. Of what happened. And almost immediately the two of them, apologize and make up, and they hug.
Even in Lewis's description, I'm like, oh, Drew doesn't have room to be mad.
Yeah. No, that is true.
Drew overstepped, and then Drew got his ass beat.
But when Lewis describes it, he's like, it's the most embarrassing display that anyone has ever done. Like, he makes it sound real awful.
He makes it sound horrible.
Yeah. But no, they make up real quick. We get this one moment where Lewis is like, I love to see two guys in love. I mean, two guys not fighting over a dress.
Two guys coming to blows.
Two guys not coming to blows. Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Yeah. Just the phrasing. Phrasing is key.
And then Kate comes in. Oswald's like, hey, Drew and I made up. She's like, great. There's free ice cream outside.
Yeah, she's immediately trying to distract them.
Run outside, but she says it's fat-free yogurt, and Drew comes back.
Yeah, Drew's not going to have that. She just needed a distraction for the two buffoons.
Yes.
So that her and Drew could talk about this Oswald wedding situation, and mostly that she doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, she needs to tell Oswald that she doesn't love him and doesn't want to marry him.
But she can't do that to his face. She's like, I can't
mortified.
do it. Yeah, she's mortified by the idea.
She pulls out a book that she was like, I'm going to start like peppering it in because the wedding, I guess, at this point is in a week.
Right.
And she pulls out a book when bad things happen to good people. She was like, I'm going to start by giving this to him.
Yeah.
And then she had a card where she like recorded a message.
You open it and it plays the audio and she goes, Oswald, I'm sorry, but you're great. And then she's like, oh wait, can I add more? And then we hear like a voice on the other end go, nah, sweetheart, sorry. It costs more. It's all we got. $8. Yeah, no. So Drew's like, look, you can't like putz around like this. You've got to tell him to his face.
Yeah.
It's that important. And I agree with Drew.
Hell, it's a fucking week now.
Yeah. And it's his wedding.
Yeah.
So she kind of like does a little verbal gymnastics to get Drew to agree to be there.
To be there with
when
her.
She does it.
Which this to me, I'm like, and I wrote this in my notes for the next scene as well. Because the next scene, it goes to Kate's apartment where they're going to tell him to break the news. It's that same day. Isn't that just gonna like why after the shit that Drew and Oswald just went through?
Yeah.
Doesn't Drew being there make it worse?
Right. I would agree, but
I
think Kate needs her emotional support, Drew.
And Oswald
for this.
Oswald's just this stupid that he'll forget or forgive.
I mean, kind of
forget and forgive.
Kind of seems to be the case.
It totally is.
Because in that next scene, Drew's there, Kate's there, and Oswald enters. Yeah. Drew immediately leaves. Drew finds a convenient excuse to be like, oh, I'm going to go make some hot chocolate. It's good comfort food for people that need it. I'm making mac and cheese. He's got shit going on the stove.
Oswald's like, I feel sorry for the guy who needs all this comfort.
And Kate is really unable to get a word in edgewise.
Right.
Despite the fact that he keeps talking about marriage failure.
Yeah, he brings up something he heard on the radio about 50% of marriages or something ending in divorce or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, how long has that been a fucking stat?
I've heard it my whole life.
Yeah, we're still talking about it. I'm like, is that number fluctuating at all?
Yeah. Does it go up?
Has it gone up?
It must go
Does
up.
it go down? I assume it only goes up.
Yeah, I don't think it gets better. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think marriage is only getting worse. But anyway, then he
like,
says there's
if given the chance to back out of weddings, most of them say they would have.
the radio says most people say they would have, and
I like
if
that
you
he's getting this from the radio.
yeah, well, that's where you used to get
And then
information.
the voice in my car told me that maybe this was a bad idea.
Give them an opportunity, and then if you make it through that opportunity and they don't back out, then you have a much higher percentage chance of success.
Right.
So anyway,
So he gives her almost a moment. He's like, listen, Kate, if you'd want to leave this, you could tell me right now and I would totally understand. And before she can even exhale, he's like, oh, thank God. I was so worried that you were going to say you wanted to leave. And
I don't know what I was going to do.
I would have been a mess.
Yeah.
So she feels really pressured to say something.
Yeah.
And she starts to, and then we get a knock on the door, and it's Oswald's hot mom.
Yeah.
We've seen her before.
We saw her before. I know
think
we've
so.
heard about.
We've maybe heard of her, but I don't think we've seen her
I feel
before.
like we've heard about.
We've definitely
Oswald's
heard
hot
because
mom.
Drew has a giant crush on her.
Yeah.
And we've known this. Maybe I'm confusing Oswald's mom with Lewis's sister, who I know we have seen.
Oh yeah, and
Drew
they went on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've known that they've had a thing for Oswald's mom. We finally see her. She's not bad. I
She's a
understand the
smoke
hype.
show. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And she took the bus.
Yeah.
She's a
She
fucking
showed up
baddie.
a week early, which we'll come to find out was probably on purpose. But she's like, oh, yeah, well, I had these bus reward miles that were going to go bad in a week. So, she's toughing it out on a
Just
Greyhound.
showing up. Used to just be able to show up unannounced to places before iPhones. Could just be like, oh, I left you a voicemail on your answering machine. And then just show
I
up.
sent you a letter
week
from the
early.
bus station.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when buses took 3 days. She was probably just coming from a different part of Ohio, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
how
They
far could
just
that
stop
bus
at
have been?
every place in Ohio.
the 5 places. It's like Toledo, Cincinnati, Cleveland.
Yeah.
So obviously Kate is not going to break Oswald's heart in front of his mom. So she calls Drew to they move her bags into the spare bedroom, and they try to figure out, we got to regroup and figure out what we're going to do.
Kate's ready to just run away.
Right.
They're like she starts packing a bag, and
Drew's
she has
packing
Drew
her
help,
drawer.
and she hands Drew like a whole bunch of her underwear.
Yeah.
And now Drew's just holding her underwear, and then Oswald comes in.
He's like, "What are you doing holding her underwear?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to give her tips for your first night on your honeymoon."
and Oswald's like, "Oh, okay." And
Gotcha.
He runs out. He doesn't want to spoil it.
No, he's God bless him.
Yeah.
He is the original golden retriever boyfriend,
Yes.
hands down.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So then we go to Drew's. They're gonna regroup at Drew's and kind of figure out a plan here. They show up and there's a balloon floating in the middle of the living room that says "Pop me," and they pop it, and there's a note to look under the couch, and then they look under the couch, and there's a note that says to put this tape in the VCR. It's like a whole.
It's clearly
string.
Lewis, and he's like, "You don't know me."
Yeah,
but
he's on the VCR, and he's giving them another clue.
Look at the spam in the fridge.
They've basically created the scavenger hunt
Yeah.
for Kate and Drew.
Drew gets annoyed that because it's in 2 different types of food. I love just a little note that it was first in the spam, and then it told him to check the ham.
Yeah,
So he had 2 types of ham.
2 types of ham, man.
Yeah.
He knows he
Knows a thing or 2 about ham.
He respects the meat.
Yeah.
Respect the meat.
This is a ham-centric episode. Or 2 episodes.
Yeah. So then we follow this string, and then we go outside to the backyard.
Yes.
And the lights come on, and suddenly there's a wedding.
Surprise wedding.
Surprise wedding. Oswald's there in his tux. Everybody's sitting down. Mimi and Wick and everybody in the crowd. Oswald's mom. Everybody's there. Surprise wedding. And when asked by Kate why they think that this was a good idea, Oswald's basically like, oh, I think, there was so much stress around the wedding that it's
Why not just get out of the way?
just get it over with. Let's do it now. Jesus Christ, man. Drew's like, wow, I wonder why more people don't do this. Absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Everybody's sitting around. Everybody's ready to go. So then Drew and Kate kind of regroup again. And he's like, yeah, we're going to... Kate immediately is like, I'm going to do it.
It does seem like fun, though.
A surprise wedding.
A surprise wedding, if you are, like, definitely going to get married.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah.
Like, they're in a unique position, but, like, I'm like, if I just, like, walked into a surprise wedding and be like, well, this is...
Well, that's why people elope, isn't it?
Yeah.
The idea of, like, let's just do it,
And then they surprise everyone else when they tell them they got married.
Yeah. I guess it's this is fun for everybody but Kate, I guess. Everybody else.
Yeah.
It's the rare everybody else was in on it.
Yeah. Oh, we're all having a big party. So you think the bus thing from his mom was bullshit just so she could get there for the...
Yeah, I think she knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oswald, this is the most impressive thing about the whole part of this.
A very smart man.
Planned this. Clearly, or somebody planned it with Oswald knowing. It's impressive.
The dog planned the surprise party.
The golden retriever did it. So no.
Kate says, screw it, I'm going to do it. I can't let him down in front of all these
She's
people.
like, I'm just going to be in love with him for the rest of my life.
I'll learn to love him is what she says.
To love him. And Drew tries to get her out of this. Drew calls in Lewis, and Lewis immediately understands the situation.
I love this. Was probably the highlight of the episode. Was Drew being like, Lewis, I need you to, call this off, and he's like, well, why? And he cracks open a beer and he's like, is it because Oswald is stuck in a prolonged adolescence? And he goes on this long rant about how
Kate realizes she needs
something with more depth.
Intellectual.
Yeah.
And he does it without even, because he accepts it without even like questioning Drew.
There's not one single question he knew exactly. And then Drew was like, yeah.
That's really impressive. How'd you do that? And he goes, Drew, have you ever heard of magic cheese? What in the fuck is magic cheese?
Oh, magic cheese.
That's got to be some drug co shit, dude.
He's on his drug co shit.
I love Lewis.
And we never talk about that's it. That's the magic cheese.
We just leave the scene. It goes unsaid. Magic cheese.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he's a developmentally stunted man-child, I believe, is along the lines of what he's... Or man-child, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. God. Yeah, no. Oswald's in a bad place when even Lewis is like, yeah, this shouldn't happen.
Yeah. And then Mimi and Oswald's mom walk in. Like, people are kind of like, what the fuck's the holdup here?
Kate's there drinking a beer. Yeah. And she's like, oh, just getting rid of the nerves. She's in her white gown. I didn't make a note to see which gown it was. I presume it's the fancy gown.
Yeah, I assumed, but I guess I didn't make note of the differences in the first
between
episode.
The two dresses.
Yeah.
Other than the price tag.
Yeah.
So she's having a beer, and Mrs. Harvey is basically there being like, oh yeah, it's not a bad idea when you're getting married into the Harvey family and she's like, I hope you're ready, be excited. You're never going to be alone for as long as you
there
live.
Every time you wake up and not, So.
And Kate starts crying, and then Mimi basically comes in and is like, don't cry, you're going to ruin your makeup, and then offers to fix it with a sealer.
A sealer, yeah.
And starts basically, it's like she pulls out like a huge fucking thing of spray paint almost.
Yeah.
Starts shaking it. And then her and Oswald's mom get into a tiff. She goes, it's a pretty good zinger to Mimi. She goes, why don't you go back out there and do the balloon animals and keep the kids happy?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not a clown. I can't remember what she calls.
She calls him
though.
a truck stop. She calls her truck stop.
Truck stop.
And then she also called Oswald dead brain walking.
Yeah.
And
she goes, hey, I'm his mother. And she goes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, at this point,
the wedding
is going to go on.
Yeah. Drew walks Kate down the aisle in his own backyard.
Yeah.
Again, it's just
a little too Drew coded.
It's a little
in this
too
wedding.
close, I would say. Yeah. It's the things. It's all pointing towards.
So what happened to the horse?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a horse back there?
Yeah. God. We get to the front, the dais, and there's the priest there.
Well, before that, Wick.
Oh shit, you're right.
Wick storms into the aisle and he gets down on his knee and he pleads for her to marry him.
Yeah.
And Drew's like, "Oh, a drunken Englishman, cross in front of you on your wedding day.
Can't
We
do
can't
that.
do
It's
this.
bad
We can't
luck."
It's bad luck." He's trying to still get her out of this.
Yeah.
Mimi grabs him and puts him in the chair.
Yep. Sits him right back down.
And then, they walk right up to the priest,
Yeah.
I guess.
And the priest is basically like, listen, Oswald said we should do this really quick so everybody can have a good time. There's something he says, some sort of insane line. But he's basically like, so, we hope it's a quick service, but a very happy life together. Go ahead and say your vows to each other.
Right.
And Oswald pulls out a note he wrote in 6th grade to Lewis.
Yes.
And he's basically like, hey, man, it was really cool hanging out with you today, at the dance.
Yeah, and he talks about how he slow danced with Kate.
And it felt right.
And it felt right, and how someday he hopes to marry her.
Yeah.
And this was a moment where I was like, oh, this might actually happen. For a split second here, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Is
a
he going to win her over?
Romantic thing that this golden retriever man did.
Yeah. Well, and also to know that they've known each other for that long.
Yeah, and
it's
like
sweet.
he said he wanted to marry her in 6th grade. That's adorable.
There's a tenderness.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's at this point that
they did try another. There was another opportunity to stop it where Lewis is like, I have to say something. And then Drew and I have to say something. And he's like, Drew, take it. And then Drew was like, there is a murderer.
And he's like, what we're going to do is we're going to shut out the lights and the murderer or murderess will leave.
Yeah.
Very clearly giving Kate an out.
Yes.
But Kate's like, no, we can't do it. So
I'm going to read my vows now.
Yeah.
So she does start to say her vows. I didn't actually make note of anything she said.
No.
It was kind of traditional.
Yeah, she was just nonchalant. And then the time comes for them to exchange rings.
Yeah.
And Lewis has the rings, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
That's how it starts. And then him and Drew basically start a game of keep away with Oswald. Oswald's like, come on, guys, on my wedding day. Yeah, okay, fine. And then just lets them do it.
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And Oswald's mom intervenes and is basically like, what the hell are you doing here? And he's like,
Drew, Allison, Carey.
Oh, yeah. To which we get a great line from Mimi, which is, Allison, Carey, all 3 of his names are girls' names. Drew, Allison, Carey. Is that his real middle name?
That's a good question.
Give me 1 second and we're going to find out.
Drew
Carey.
Allison, Carey.
You'd think I could type after all these years. It is. Drew Allison Carey is his real name.
Wow, must have been after like his mom or his grandma or something.
It could have been. I'd actually let me see if that's his mom's name. We're so close to the end of this, but unfortunately,
you guys, you're gonna learn something with us today.
No,
it's just a random name.
It's Lewis Carey and Balula.
Damn, Balula is exactly
the kind of woman's name.
Yeah, if like I wouldn't have guessed it out of thin air, but if you gave me multiple choice, I would have been like, "Yep, that's Drew's mom's name."
His dad's name is Lewis.
Oh,
so there you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oswald at this point is like, hey, it's all right, Mom,
And he kind of psychoanalyzes what they're doing.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's keep away. We've been doing it since I was a kid. They usually do it whenever I'm going to do something, usually to protect myself from something
something that's really going to emotionally impact me.
Yeah, and then he pauses.
And he starts thinking, and he realizes what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we get Kate turning around, and she's basically like, Oswald, I'm sorry, I can't marry you.
Yeah.
Just boom, hits him like that. And it's, it's a gut punch, I think, for everybody there. Mimi goes, what did she say? Like, immediately tries to stir the pot. Yeah, say it louder. And Oswald handles it pretty well. There's a moment where he's bummed.
As I think anyone could handle it on their wedding day.
He encourages everybody to stay and stick around and to celebrate maybe not their marriage, but hopefully a long friendship with each other. And Kate's like, wow, you really took that in a great way. And he was like, yeah, well, I'm trying my best to because my mom's about to kick your ass.
Yeah.
So Kate runs out and then
her mom follows.
Yeah, she goes, Kate, I want to talk to you. And then Drew goes, hey, a fight's as good as a wedding as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And everybody starts chanting, fight, fight, fight. And then they all follow to watch the fight ensue inside the house.
Yeah. And they cut to the credits.
That's not the wedding.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we've been building up to for fucking
not
28
wedding.
episodes. So yeah, then we cut to the ending or the end credits, and this is where we find out the winners. We find out on a beach because it turns out that Oswald still went on his honeymoon.
Yeah,
and he took Lewis
actually,
and Drew.
we find out immediately Kate's mom and Kate
Oswald's mom.
Oswald's mom and Kate
Yeah.
are talking at the Warsaw. And then they're like, oh, I hope Oswald's having fun on his honeymoon. And they're like, with Drew and Lewis, like, I'm sure they're having a good time. And then the guy at the bar's like, where did they go? Tamarindo? And then,
They're on the news. It says there's war.
Yeah.
And then we cut to a scene of them on the beach. They're all relaxing. Drew has headphones on. And there's some yelling in the background with militiamen walking by.
There's some gunfire.
Yeah. And then Drew lifts his headphones and he goes, somebody say lotion?
Yeah.
They need lotion? And then we find out that he's listening to the winners of the Drew Carey Show April Fool's Day contest. So that's the post-credit scene is them on a
what a fun way to reveal the winners too.
Yeah, so it's a smart kind of way to work it in. Though what's funny to me is that kind of breaks the logic of the show when you think about it for too long. Because they're in the Drew Carey Show and they're listening to the winners of the Drew Carey Show be announced. Are they Truman shows?
It's the end of season 3, man. They're like,
Shane, you're thinking too much about it, man.
They're like, we're at the finish line here.
But yeah, shout out to Dan Dobner. I'm gonna try to find this guy.
And Mary Teresa Herron for your wild weekend in Cleveland. I'm sure. Yeah,
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame calling your name.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All expenses paid.
Hey, man, we got through all of season 3, this beast. It was fun. I really do understand.
This was a long season.
It was a very long season, but I understand why people think this is like probably the best. Like if it goes downhill from this is the highest we have seen, I think, the show reach in terms of scope and in terms of bits and comedic and emotional moments.
Yeah, they have these perfect sort of non sequitur scenes. The comedic beats are great. There was a moment we should acknowledge, I feel like midway through, where we were worried it was plateauing. Mm-hmm. It does not.
No, it bounces back.
It does bounce back. I feel like it introduces enough new elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
what's crazy to me is the last episode we did was just 2 episodes that were completely unrelated from any of this, though, for the most part.
Yeah.
It was the one where Drew's late to getting his promotion.
Right.
And then the other one with his cousin.
And those were perfect. Like the late to getting the promotion episode is amazing.
Yeah. It's a fun app.
That's just like a perfect little bottle episode.
Yeah.
That just explores the medium, I guess, just like a 30-second sitcom, and like let's do it in real time and space.
Absolutely.
So I love it.
But I like it's also it gives room to breathe. I think one of the things I was annoyed about with this season was how we would have a plot line and we would just kind of abandon it for some stretch of time.
Yeah.
And then we'd come back to it. And it's like, oh yeah, you remember the thing that was happening 3 episodes ago, right?
And it didn't require these massive explainers, and we're watching the episodes like weeks apart.
We're not walking. Like, I'm imagining if I'm trying to be in 1997.
Yeah,
and I'm watching it week after week. Yeah,
no,
so it's a little more fresh in your mind.
I do. It is great. I don't know. I thought this was. I mean, obviously, this is the best season we've watched out of the 3.
It continues to build.
It really hit its stride.
It really feels like they took the lessons they learned from season 2, and specifically the finale of season 2.
Yeah,
and they were like, let's just have fun with it. Let's use the whole canvas.
Right.
Yeah.
They there was like a few more musical numbers. They threw in the episode with everything wrong and they tried a lot. It was like trying shit.
Yeah.
The Batmobile. God, it's just like there was a number that just working in some of the intellectual property that Warner Brothers owned. But
shout out Synergy, dude. Yeah. Shout out creative IP.
I just curious.
Yeah.
What the rest looks like. Do we think, does it continue to get better, or is it like, okay, now we know what works, let's just keep beating that drum, which could also be fine.
Yeah. all that glitters is not gold.
Also,
I think at some point, look, it depends how long they can keep this. If you ask people, so around season 5 is probably where
it falls off.
Yeah, season 6 passed is what I hear. Definitely the last 2 I hear are just like it's gonna be a slog for us.
I can't wait for that. We're gonna do 5 episodes at a time.
Fucking just.
So what do we think? What do you think that like? How does the reset look? Like, do they bring up this wedding again that much, or like, how they almost got married, or
I think there has to be
like,
some resolution with
let's
Drew
just
and Kate.
ignore it?
I think we have to explore Drew and Kate now because he has inserted himself into this in such a way, and clearly she's interested in it and exploring something with him.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Steve. I don't know if that. I mean, just because I know the actor is on until like season 6 or beyond. Even.
Come back, Steve.
I want to see what's going on.
Why wasn't Steve at the wedding?
Yeah, he lives in the house.
Yeah, he wasn't invited.
His fucking house. Yeah, no, I want to see more of that. I want to see. I don't even know, man. I don't know what could possibly build. What happens with the store? Does Drew actually have this promotion, or is that just a thing that we're gonna forget about?
That'd be interesting.
If we go overseas,
is Drew actually going to the Far East?
The Far East. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. There's definitely things left in this season to be discussed.
You know who knows? Probably you guys who are listening.
Yeah, or if some people are watching it for the first time, maybe with us.
I hope some of you are. Yeah. But for those of you that aren't, I know you're yelling through the microphones right now. Yeah, he does a whole season in India. What are you, stupid?
You morons, just watch it. Well, we will watch it. Don't you worry. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
As always. Thank you for leaving a 5-star review. If you haven't, this is a great time to leave a 5-star review of the pod.
It's the only one you can leave.
It's the only one you can't. If you try 4 or less, it's not going to work.
No, it's gonna delete your account. Don't even try it.
You can email us, clevelandrockspodcast@gmail.com. We do have some emails we should address, I think, at some point in the near future.
Yeah, we'll do a mailbag.
Yeah, we'll do a little mailbag. It'll be good. You can Instagram follow us. That's not how you say that.
Mailbag for the beginning of season 4. Season 4 sounds nice.
We'll do that. Absolutely. I think we've got some already that we can talk about. So it'll be good. If you want, add some. clevelandrockspodcast@gmail.com, instagram.com/clevelandrockspodcast. You can listen to the show on YouTube and subscribe on there, youtube.com/@clevelandrockspodcast. I think that's all the plugs that I have.
Yes.
We're all out of plugs.
We're all out of plug. Fresh out of plugs. We're all out of eps.
Yeah.
On to season 4.
We're going to go refuel. Thank you guys for listening. Bye-bye.